You're 6 years old. Your best friend's mother opens the door. You're holding a toy truck you brought to share. She looks at you the way people look at stray dogs. He can't play with you anymore. She closes the door. You stand there. The truck is getting heavy. You don't understand. You knock again. Nothing. Your father finds you an hour later, still on that porch, still holding the truck, still waiting. That's when you learn what you are. Not a boy, not a son, not smart or funny or good at marbles. Black. He sits you down that night, tells you the world is sick. You ask if you can make it better. He doesn't answer. You're 15 at Morehouse College. Genius, they call you. Skipped 2 grades. Win every debate. You ride a bus home from a speech contest. The trophy in your lap says first place. Your topic, the Constitution, freedom, equality. A white man gets on. The driver doesn't ask. He points. You stand. The white man sits in your seat, your warm seat. He doesn't look at you. You don't exist to him. You stand for 90 miles. The trophy digs into your ribs as people push past. Your legs cramp. Your mind runs the same question on a loop. If I'm smart enough to win, why am I not human enough to sit? You're 18 and you hear a man speak about Gandhi, about suffering that doesn't break, about nonviolence as a sword. You choose seminary. But something changed when you heard that speech. One thought, they want me to hit back. That's how they win. The system isn't designed to handle love. It's designed to handle violence. They have more guns, more clubs, more power. They want you to fight their way. So you won't. You'll learn a language they don't speak, even if it kills you. You're 25, newly married, new job, pastor in Montgomery, Alabama. You think, quiet life, preach on Sundays, raise kids, stay out of trouble. 1 year later, Rosa Parks refuses to move. They need a leader for the boycott. You're new, educated, PhD from Boston University. No local enemies yet. You're the compromise candidate. You think it'll last 2 weeks. Day 30. A bomb crashes through your front window. You're at a church meeting. Someone runs in, breathless. Your house. You drive home doing 80 inches a 35. The crowd is already there. 200 black men, armed, waiting for your word. Your wife meets you at the door, holding your baby. They're covered in plaster dust. The living room is destroyed. The front porch is a crater. Your baby has glass in her hair. Tiny pieces, sparkling in the porch light. Coretta's hands are shaking, but her voice isn't. We're fine. Go talk to them. You walk outside. The crowd is shouting for blood. Someone fires a gun in the air. The police commissioner begs you to calm them down before this becomes a massacre. You step onto the broken porch. You open your mouth to preach love. What comes out first is a sound you didn't know you could make. Then, we must love our enemies. The crowd goes quiet. Someone shouts, your baby was in there. You know. God. You know. We must love our enemies, you say again. Your voice cracks on love. Your hands are shaking so hard, you grip the porch railing. You mean it. You also want to burn the whole city down. The crowd disperses. You walk inside. Coretta is sweeping up glass with her bare hands. You don't speak for 3 hours. You're 27 and you've won. The buses are integrated. You're on the cover of Time magazine. This is the peak, you think. The death threats start arriving. Dozens a day. Detailed, specific, creative. One describes the exact shirt you wore yesterday. Another knows your daughter's school schedule. A third includes a photo of your house with a red X on your bedroom window. They're not just threatening you. They're watching you. You read them at breakfast while your daughter eats cereal, singing a song about sunshine. You're reading about how they're going to cut your throat. You stop sleeping. You're 34 in solitary confinement in Birmingham. They arrested you for parading without a permit. The real crime. Making white moderates uncomfortable. 8 white clergymen, allies, published an open letter in the newspaper. They called you an extremist, outside agitator. They said your protests are unwise and untimely. Unwise. Untimely. Your people have waited 340 years. You write back on toilet paper, newspaper margins, scraps. They won't give you real paper because they know what you'll do with it. You write for 3 days. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order than to justice. The words pour out faster than your hand can move. You believe every word. You also remember last week. Your 8-year-old daughter asked why she can't go to the amusement park she sees on TV. You had to explain segregation. You watched her face change. Confusion, then hurt, then something worse, acceptance. She stopped asking questions. You're in this cell writing about justice while your daughter learns to expect less from the world. The cost is never abstract. It's her face every day. You're 35 on the National Mall, 250,000 people. You're about to deliver a speech. You have it written, formal, political, safe. But you're exhausted. The night before, someone called in a bomb threat to your hotel. You were evacuated at 3 a.m. You haven't slept. You start reading your prepared remarks. Then Mahalia Jackson gospel legend, your friend shouts from behind you. Tell them about the dream, Martin. Tell them about the dream. You pause. You put the paper down. What comes next isn't written anywhere. I have a dream. The words come from somewhere deeper than preparation. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The crowd roars. This is the peak, everyone will say, the triumph. History in real time. That night, in your hotel room, the phone rings. It's a muffled voice. We heard your speech. We heard everything else too. Click. J. Edgar Hoover has been recording you for months. Hotel rooms, phone calls, private moments. The FBI has hundreds of hours. Next week, they'll mail you an anonymous letter with the recordings. The letter suggests you kill yourself within 34 days before they release everything. You read it alone. You don't tell Coretta for 3 days. From now on, every intimate moment with your wife will carry the question, who's listening? You just gave the most famous speech in American history. You'll never have a private thought again. You're 36, holding the Nobel Peace Prize in Oslo, Norway. Youngest recipient ever. The King of Norway shakes your hand. The prize comes with $54,000 more money than you've ever seen. You donate it all to the movement that night. Every penny. You fly home. The 7th of March, 1965. Selma, Alabama is about to explode. You organize a march from Selma to Montgomery. Voting rights. 54 miles. Peaceful. You're not there. Your advisors convinced you to delay. 600 marchers reach the Edmund Pettus Bridge. State troopers are waiting. You watch it on TV. The troopers charge. Clubs, tear gas, bullwhips, horses trampling people. A woman named Amelia Boynton is beaten unconscious. John Lewis, 25 years old, fractures his skull. The news calls it Bloody Sunday. You call the families from a hotel room in Atlanta. Some of them scream at you through the phone. You said nonviolence would protect us. You said it was safe. My son can't remember his name, Reverend. The doctors don't know if he'll get it back. You recruited them. You promised them. You weren't there. You hang up and vomit into the hotel toilet. 2 days later, you lead another march to the same bridge. You kneel and pray. Then you turn around. The activists are furious. They call you a coward, a sellout. You made a deal with the federal government to avoid another massacre. You saved lives. You also betrayed the people who bled for you. There is no right answer. There never was. You're 37 and you've lost the middle. You spoke against Vietnam, called America the greatest purveyor of violence in the world. The donors vanish. The allies turn. The president won't return your calls. The newspapers call you a traitor. You don't care. You can't watch black boys die in rice paddies for a country that lynches them at home and stay silent. Even if it costs you everything. It does. You're 38 in Memphis. You didn't want to come. You're sick, fever, cough, that won't stop. Your doctor told you to rest. But the sanitation workers are on strike. 2 men were crushed to death in a garbage compactor because the city won't buy functional equipment. The signs the workers carry say, "I am a man." You've seen that sign your whole life, on different faces, different cities. Always the same fight. Prove you're human. You're so tired of proving it. April 3rd, Mason Temple. The weather is violent. Thunder, lightning, tornado warnings. You think no one will show up. 2,000 people are waiting. You don't have a speech prepared. You walk to the pulpit. Your voice is shredded from the cold. You start speaking and you don't know where it's going. Then it comes. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. You pause. You're about to say something. You don't know what yet. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. Your hands grip the sides of the pulpit, and He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. The church is silent. I may not get there with you. You're crying now. You didn't plan this. But I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. Your voice breaks. So, I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. You are. You're terrified. You've been terrified for 13 years. But you say it anyway. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. You sit down. You can barely breathe. You know what you just did. You said goodbye. April 4th, 1968. The Lorraine Motel. Room 306. It's a nice day. Warm. Spring finally coming to Tennessee. You're getting ready for dinner. Reverend Billy Kyles is taking you to his house. His wife is cooking soul food. You're in a good mood. You put on a white shirt, black suit, your favorite tie. You splash on aftershave, Old Spice, the same kind your father wore. You check your watch. 5:58 p.m. You step onto the balcony. The air smells like charcoal grills and car exhaust. Someone's playing Aretha Franklin on a radio. Your friends are below. Ben Branch has his saxophone. You lean over the railing. Ben, make sure you play Take My Hand, Precious Lord tonight. Play it real pretty. He nods, smiling. Jesse Jackson is there. You tease him about the shirt he's wearing. It's 6:01 p.m. You turn to go back inside for your coat. It's cold. You'll need it for later. You think about the catfish waiting at dinner. You think about the rally tomorrow. A bullet from across the street has ended everything. There's no sound. There's pressure. Your hand reaches for your jaw, but it's not there anymore. Your knees don't work. The balcony tile is cold against your face. Someone is screaming your name. You try to answer, but your mouth won't move. The sky is so blue. You didn't notice before. So blue. Your last thought isn't profound. It's, I forgot my coat. You never reach 40. You never walk your daughter down the aisle. She'll get married 4 years later. Your seat will be empty. You never meet your grandchildren. 5 of them. They'll carry your name but not your memory. You never see Coretta's hair turn gray. She'll live another 40 years. Alone. You never see the statue they build of you on the National Mall. 30 feet tall. Your arms crossed. You would have hated it too stern. Too cold. You never see a black president. It'll take 40 more years. His name is Barack Obama. He'll keep a copy of your speeches in the Oval Office. You never finish the book you were writing. You never get to rest. You never know if it was worth it. The laws changed. The world shifted. Your name is on schools, streets, a national holiday. But you died at 39 on a motel balcony, wondering if you'd remembered everything for tomorrow's rally. You died exhausted, surveilled, hated by half the country, abandoned by your allies, terrified. You gave your peace, your privacy, your safety, your family's childhood, your life. America took it all. And 50 years later, they'll use your name to silence the protesters who marched like you did. They'll quote the dream and ignore the Vietnam speech. They'll praise nonviolence and forget the bombs. They'll call you a saint and erase every radical word you said. So answer this. Could you do it? Could you kiss your children goodnight knowing strangers are watching your house right now? Could you preach love while reading letters that describe the shirt you wore yesterday? Could you stand in front of dogs and fire hoses and never raise a fist? Could you win the Nobel Prize and still die in a pool of blood on a motel balcony? Could you be called great while your wife sweeps up bomb fragments alone? Could you sacrifice everything and still not know if anyone will remember why? You weren't watching his story. You lived it. And now you know, heroes don't die victorious. They die wondering if it was worth it. You still don't have the answer.